It all started on a crisp spring morning. I had been looking forward to a quiet weekend at my lakefront property, the kind of place where the water glints in the sun, birds chirp lazily, and the stress of the city feels a million miles away. But as soon as I pulled into the driveway, I knew something was wrong. My lake bridge, the wooden structure that connected my dock to the shore, had been destroyed. And there she was, Karen, the neighborhood HOA enforcer extraordinaire, standing nearby with her clipboard, smirk firmly in place. She wasn't just annoyed at minor violations. She was proud, almost gleeful, about the destruction. "That bridge," she said, pointing with a dramatic flourish, "violates multiple HOA safety regulations. It's a hazard and had to be removed immediately." I was furious. That bridge had taken months to build, and it wasn't just decorative. It was the only way I could get my boat out to the lake safely. I confronted Karen, trying to reason with her. "There's no hazard. It's inspected, reinforced, and completely safe. You had no right to destroy it." Karen waved me off, as if my objections were meaningless. "Rules are rules. Property owners must comply. Consider it corrective action." I realized that arguing would get me nowhere. Karen thrived on authority, intimidation, and overreach. But I also realized something else. The lake, the water, and the dam were all on my property, or at least under my legal control. And that gave me leverage. Over the next few days, I studied the lake and the dam. My grandfather, a retired civil engineer, helped me understand the mechanics and legal parameters. It turned out that the HOA's lavish $4 million resort on the opposite shore relied on the lake's water level for their recreational activities: boating, swimming, and even a small hydro feature. In other words, the HOA's luxury paradise depended entirely on a lake that I controlled. I waited for the right moment. One quiet morning, I opened the dam slightly. Not enough to flood or cause permanent damage, just enough to lower the water level noticeably. Within hours, the HOA resort began to experience chaos. Boats grounded on mudflats, swimming areas turned into shallow puddles, and the hydro features sputtered to a halt. Guests were bewildered, and the management scrambled to understand the sudden problem. Karen, of course, had no idea this was happening. She stormed over to my property, screaming about malicious interference and illegal activity. I calmly explained, "Your resort was dependent on the lake's level. I legally control the water. I'm simply maintaining my property." The neighbors watched in awe as Karen fumed. The tables had turned spectacularly. The woman who had destroyed my bridge to assert dominance over me now faced the consequences of her overreach. Her prized resort incapacitated by the very thing she had ignored: property boundaries, ownership rights, and the law. By the end of the week, Karen and the HOA were forced to negotiate. Legal teams arrived, and emergency permits were filed. My bridge was repaired at the HOA's expense, and I installed additional safety measures, ensuring that no one, Karen included, could interfere again. The resort eventually reopened, but the lesson was clear. Overreach has consequences, and control comes with responsibility. I often walk across the rebuilt bridge now, watching the water ripple beneath my feet. Karen still prowls the neighborhood, clipboard in hand, but her aura of invincibility is gone. Every time she glances at the lake, I can see a flicker of memory, the chaos she caused by underestimating someone she thought she could bully. In the end, it wasn't just about a bridge or a lake. It was about understanding your rights, staying calm, and using intelligence over brute force. And sometimes, poetic justice comes in the form of a slightly lowered dam and a very expensive lesson for those who think they can bully others with impunity.